After years overseas, I've learned something. The difference between an average trip and an unforgettable one usually comes down to one thing: information. Not money, not luck, but information. You see, I've landed in cities around the world where Google sent me to straight dead spots.
They what?
Travel blogs and YouTube videos were out of date, and every AI bot kept giving me the same generic internet answers. But then I run into a local or another passport bro, and suddenly the entire trip changed. I'm talking about the hidden rooftop bar packed with locals, the beach tourists haven't discovered yet, the restaurant with no marketing but a line out the door, the neighborhood everybody told you to avoid until someone who actually lives there showed you otherwise. The after-hour spots that never show up on Google, and the experiences that turn a good trip into a story you will be telling for years. This kind of information you usually only get from being connected. That's when it hit me. The best travel information isn't on the internet. It's inside the heads of people actually out there living it every day. That's what Passport Bros AI is built on. Knowledge contributed by over 30,000 travelers around the world. From Brazil to Thailand, from Colombia to Kazakhstan.
Welcome to Thailand.
ChatGPT said this was the hottest spot in town. Jeffrey, where the real hot spot at?
37 Passport Bros recommend Saruta nightclub. Best nights are Friday and Saturday.
Even I've uploaded my own experiences into his AI brain. Because when you land in a foreign country, you don't need another AI searching old web pages. You need information from people who were there just last week, last night, maybe even right now. Passport Bros AI, powered by 30,000 real travelers. Don't land clueless. Download Passport Bros AI today. All right, family, we are live. Welcome to another show. Today, I have a great guest on here, man, by the name of donpsounds off in the building. We got a lot to talk about today, man. What's going on, brother?
What's up, brother? Thanks for having me.
All right. Maybe is my audio audience, let me know if his audio is low or not. Just press 1 if the audio is good. We can get this party because your audio is a little low to me. Maybe it's not low to the audience, but it's just a tad bit low. Can you get close to the mic?
How we doing now? We good?
Yeah, that sounds a little bit better. Let me turn up my audio, man. Yeah, that sounds a little bit better. Okay, we got 17 in the room so far, man. Guys, do me a favor when you enter the room, hit that like button for your guy, man. We here, man. How's everything going with you? Got my man Esmond MIA in the building. What's good with you? All right. Yeah, guys, hit that like button for your boy. So Don P, man, what's good with you today, brother?
All good things, brother. I can't complain. Life is good.
Excellent, man. Now, what's funny is, I'm out here in Thailand, so when people in the daytime, it's nighttime over here, basically. Okay. So I'm hearing notifications in my phone, because I sleep with my phone, nearby. And I'm like, who the fuck? He texting me, like, why am I getting all these notifications and everything? And, I just happened to take a look at it like 3, 4 in the morning. And people are asking me, they say, hey, BMT, did you get caught up? Did you get denied entry to Colombia? I'm like, brother, I'm in Thailand right now. I'm like nowhere near. I haven't been to Colombia since 2023, brother. Like, what's going on? Right. And then I get the report, and here I'll pull it up right now. Hold on a second. And they said in the beginning lines of this, hold on. I read verbatim what they say. All right. Colombian migration officials at Jose Maria Cordova Airport denied admission to an American. No, hold on. Let me make sure you guys can see this real quick. Hold on. Y'all can't see it. Give me a second. Let me remove this. All right. Let me add this back to the screen. There we go. All right. Glad I checked. All right. Once again, Colombian migration officials at Jose Maria Cordova denied admission to an American known for being one of the creators of the Passport Bros movement, a group of men who travel to different destinations to engage in tourism for actual exploitation purposes. Now, we know that's a lie. Right off the rip, we know that's a lie. But do you consider yourself to be the creator of the Passport Bros?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, I would say I've been a Passport Bro for a long time, but I'm absolutely not a creator of the Passport Bros. I never wanted any of those titles or any of those names. I saw some article said, call me the king of the Passport Bros. And I'm like, what is this, man?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's so crazy, man, because the way they set it up out there is because I've reached out to them and told them, hey, man, this is defamation and everything like that. But they'll do one article and they'll spread it against 30 different blog outlets, 30 different Instagram posts.
Right.
So it makes it seem like everybody's kind of confirming this, but it's really just one article.
Right.
They just lazy and just share it amongst 30 different platforms. So it just seemed like, the world has ended. Like, okay, this is crazy. 30 different outlets. You see it from this outlet, this Instagram, and it's a lie. You know what I'm saying? It's a viral lie. But they're making it seem like it's just this demonic group. First of all, nobody in their right mind, we'll get to your situation back in a second, but nobody in their right mind would create a group or a term for sexual exploitation, bro. Nobody would do that. J. Cole, a multi-platinum artist, would not do a song called Passport Bros. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, there would not be all these Facebook groups. There would not be, apps. It wouldn't be as large as it is if it was just a so-called group of men, sexually exploiting worldwide, like this notorious label, as if this wasn't already going on before the term even came about. Right. Now, I've said definition multi times. The definition is in every Wikipedia, every dictionary. It's basically men from Western countries, looking to geo-arbitrage, and in some cases, not all, but in some cases, looking for more of a traditional relationship. That part right there has a lot of feminist media outlets triggered, because that's what it's really about. I know this for a fact. Like I said, we'll get back to you in a second, brother. But I know this for a fact because I've reached out to them, right? And I told them, I said, hey, man, that's not what the Passport Bros is about. And then it'd be a back and forth with a female in a different language. And they would just be like, well, we don't care. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to print any type of reprisal or anything like that. We're just going to, there you go, retraction. We're not going to print a retraction. Because you're in America, we're over here, and they know that I got to get a Brazilian lawyer or a Colombian lawyer. And it's like, who's going to side with the American, right? So, I just want to put that out there before we even get to your story. But let me continue. All right. And it says throughout 2026, the Migration Authority has banned the entry of 107 foreigners, which is less than 0.5%, by the way, fellas, for reasons associated with tourism of actual exploitations in Antioquia. The number of admissions for this cause amounts of around 150 people throughout the country this year. All right. Then they add Chill Capo, who doesn't consider himself a Passport Bro, doesn't consider himself going by the ideology of the Passport Bros, because the Passport Bros is more of a mindset than any type of organized group. We'll talk about that in a second. Who was deported by Colombian migration. And Casey Redbeard, right, who I've never met, by the way, denied entry into El Dorado. American influencers known for their tourism promotion content for sexual exploitation. Now, let me ask you this. Did they refer to you during the interview process as the creator of the Passport Bros? When did that come about?
That came about in this article. They never referred to me as that. As a matter of fact, they didn't even know who I was, right?
Mm-hmm.
I came through, they checked my phones, they checked my bags, found nothing. Someone did a search on me, and they pulled up my social media. And then one of the officers came back to the back and said, oh, you're famous.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at him and I said, no, I'm not. He was like, no, yeah, you're famous. So from what I could gather, they didn't like the social media of me promoting my trips. And that's one of the reasons why I was denied entry. Although I never got any of that in writing, so I'm going through the process right now. I have an attorney over there who's looking into it for me to try to get the real reason why I was denied. Now, the other thing I was told was we have some reports. I was like, okay, let's see the reports.
Mm-hmm.
No, no, they're anonymous reports. Okay, well, they're anonymous reports. Why can't I see what the reports are saying? I don't need to see the name. Let me see what the reports are saying. And if it's true, I'll tell you if it's true. If it's not, and I have evidence to prove otherwise, let me give you the evidence to prove otherwise. So it's like, no, 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 you don't need to see the reports. So I didn't know all of this stuff was put in the air. Uh, one of the creators of Passport Bros, all of this foolishness. I didn't know this was put in the air until I was in Panama, waiting on another flight to come back to the States. So
Mm.
it was as surprising to me as it was to anybody. And I dropped a video before any of this came out, and I said, hey, I got denied. I'm not sure why yet. I'm looking into it, but this is what was going on, and this is what happened. So I dropped the video. Anybody that follows me knows me to be very upfront and open about stuff, even things that other people would try to downplay. I'm
Mm-hmm.
very open about it. And so I talk about wins, I talk about losses, I talk
Mm-hmm.
about everything in between, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what makes you successful. You know, you had to lose before you won. So for me, I'm employing 6 people in their country. We're pumping hundreds of thousands of dollars into their economy. And
Mm-hmm.
I look at it and I say, okay, this is a political thing. It's being used for politics. So I didn't take it personal in that light, but I took the articles that were not telling the truth. Like, as you can see, King of the Passport Bros, one of the founders of the Passport Bros, I took that personally because I never want to take away credit from a movement that someone else created, let alone trademarked. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
that's not something that I want to do. I want credit for everything I've done, but I don't want to
Okay.
take credit for things that other people have created that I'm a part of.
Okay. So let me ask you this, man. Take us through the process. Like when you're going through migration, do they just pull you to the side or something like that? Like what do you make think triggered them? Was your name reported or something? Like why did they pull you out in the first place?
I think that some competitors who
Mm-hmm.
are upset, who threatened me before, and who's tried to wreck trips before, but couldn't unsuccessfully. And by the way, they are unsuccessful right now. There's 13
Mm-hmm.
guys being taken care of at Flower Festival right now as we're talking. 13.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So my business still runs. The people are still there, and I have 6 employees that's doing a phenomenal job taking care of these guys. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it was some of my competition that wanted me out of the business, and they thought by removing me that they could remove the business. And that's just not how businesses that I create work. I
Mm-hmm.
create them to have an infrastructure that if I get sick, if I go down, or if I need to take care of other things, I have people who can step up and do what needs to be done. So I think it was a competitor that put forth some things, and obviously they believe those things. I told them in the back that that wasn't true. So when I originally arrived, got to the line, they called me up, um, and I gave them my passport. And the young lady there said that my passport had been flagged. Go and have a seat over to the side, and her supervisor was going to talk to me. So her supervisor
Mm-hmm.
got the passport, said, we'll talk to you in the back room behind the actual stations where the immigration officers are, migration. And we went into a room, and there was already guys there. It was
Mm-hmm.
already guys there. And apparently, from what those guys said, there was already guys that had been denied entry earlier. So the police officers came in and they started talking to me, and they said, "We need to check your bags." I said, "Go right ahead. Go ahead, check my bags." I went through my
Mm-hmm.
bags, didn't find anything. They said to me, "We want to check your phones." Now, I know that I could say, no, I don't want you to check my phones. But number one, I didn't have anything to hide because I've done nothing wrong. And number two, I had guys in the air on the way. And so It's my job to make sure that I'm there for the client and I take good care of the client, right? So I'm like, this is going to expedite the process of me making it through immigration and going and taking care of my business. Let me do that. So they check the phone. They check the phones manually, right? First, they check the phones manually. Then they put the phones on this black box, which is basically a piece of computer software that will scan deleted stuff and things of that nature. They found nothing there, so they gave me my phones back, and then they had me wait for a while. So that was the first part of it, you know. So I'm thinking they need to vet me out more. They need to get approvals, and then everything will be fine. Then another police officer from a different division came in, and he said, well, "Do you have a legitimate company? Do you have any references here?" I was like, "Yes, I have professional references. I have personal references." And they got the references. The references called the number, and they gave me a number for the references to call. And the references were calling, and they said that they weren't answering the phone at the number that he gave me. He said, "Have your references call this number." He said they weren't answering the phone, and these were Colombian citizens. You know, these weren't references from people in America, or references from other people. These were actual Colombian citizens that have business with me, that have done business with me, and who could vouch for me. And so he said, "Well, we want to let you in, but it's ultimately not up to us. Ultimately, it's up to migration, right?" And so that's when, I guess, because they couldn't find anything, they went and did a search, and they saw my social media, which is, I don't have private social media. You know, I don't do things in the dark. I don't do things that I'm afraid of someone seeing. So they saw my social media, and they saw that it was a party advertised, which was a free party, by the way. The party was free. I was paying for it out of my own pocket, and it was for people, friends, and people that were coming down for Flower Festival. And you know, the party was absolutely free. And they saw that, and they saw the social media post, and they said they didn't like it. Apparently, they told me I was famous. I said no, and clearly it was the social media post, because when they started writing the articles, they pulled video off of my social media to put along with their articles. So clearly that was what they were looking at. So that's essentially what happened. I got there at about 2:15, 2:30. They actually bought me a plane ticket to go back home. And
Damn.
I wanted to spend my own money, because they gave me a choice of going to Miami or Boston. I said, well, my home is California. I came from San Diego. My home is California. That's on the other side of the country. You know, when am I going to Miami or Boston before? Boston for? Let me just buy my own ticket. I don't need you to buy my ticket. I got paper. You know, let me just buy my own ticket. It was like, no, because you have to hold your passport until we get to the other side, and then we give it back to you. So we have to make sure that we walk you through security, the gates, and everything like that, right? I was like, okay, whatever. Send me to Miami. And so I waited. They did the little video photo shoot thing.
That's what I was going to ask you next. Like, when are they not doing the video and the photos?
Right. And they did the little video photo shoot thing, because I was like, so it's political, eh? I was like, el politico. You know, this is political. And so I was like, come on, you want to do a video? Let's do a video. Because at this particular point, I know I've not done anything wrong, you know? So they do the video and everything like that. They do not deport me. They do not ban me. They do not stamp anything in my passport. They mark on an envelope that, according to their rules, supposed to be sealed with my passport, inadmissible, non-entry. But no ban. So no ban. Nothing stamped in my passport, and nothing given to me as paperwork to sign to acknowledge that the entry was denied and there was a ban. Okay.
Okay.
So I got back. I went back after taking the pictures. I waited on a representative from the airlines to come. She came out and said they paid for your ticket back. and I had to go through the security protocol, and they sent me on a flight to Panama, connected in Panama, and when I got to Panama, they was like, "Oh, you have 12 hours layover time before your flight," which is an astronomical layover time. So I'm like, I guess I'm stuck in Panama for the night, whatever, because I didn't have a passport, but they were still holding on to it until I got back to U.S. soil.
So is the passport on the airplane with you or something? They just holding it, or they mail it or something? How does that work?
The passport is on the airplane with me with the head flight attendant.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. And they don't give it back until you get to Panama.
They don't give it back until I get to Miami.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They give it back to me in Miami.
So let me ask you this real quick, and I'm gonna catch your super chats in a second, family. Do you think your competitors had something to do with all of this, or they just reported your name?
I think my competitors created stories that weren't true, and because it goes along with the Flower Festival and politics of them wanting to say that they're quote unquote cracking down on things, which I've done nothing for them to crack down on. I think it just, the stars kind of aligned. I had a huge social media following. I wasn't the only person that was denied that day. Multiple people. One guy was denied because he brought his girlfriend of 2 years, something from Victoria's Secrets, and they went back a year into their chats and found that they had been having some spicy conversations. But this is his girlfriend. He's got pictures with her and her family, pictures with him and his family with her. So it's clearly they have a relationship. There was one guy there. There was one guy there who had a visa. He had 16 days left on the visa. They turned him away. He had a visa. So,
were these all brothers?
Most of them were, yeah. There was some sprinkles in there every now and then, but most of the guys were brothers. Yeah.
Oh wow. We'll catch your super chats for a second, man. Decoders Jenkins 5868 with a $2 super chat, man. I really appreciate it. He says, do away with passport pookies. All right. I don't know if he's calling you a passport pookie, but he just said do away with them. Brandon Clark Stocks and Passport. Salute to you, brother, with a $2 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says, salute BMT. Shout out to the panel in the chat. I feel like Colombia is changing. Some changes good. Some changes are bad. All right. Appreciate that, Brandon Clark. Always representing. Timothy Bright, I haven't heard from you in a while, brother. 7064 with $2 super chat, man. I appreciate that. Avengers Assemble, done. Turn up your microphone. So I guess your microphone is a little low. And I hear a little feedback too. Do you have me playing in your browser?
Let me check.
Yeah, because if you have me, it's probably some feedback. You got to probably close out your the playback browser, not the StreamYard browser. All right, while you do that, I'll catch the super chat while you do that.
I shouldn't have you in my browser now. But let's try something different. Let's try something a little bit different,
Okay. Matter of fact, let me put you on mute real quick. All right, Decoders Jenkins 5868 with a $5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says, non-select black men deserve better than Pookie and M leftovers. Clean up, man. Fifth choice and stepfatherhood isn't an option. Or to be a fifth choice and stepfatherhood isn't an option. Salute to you, Decoders Jenkins. All right, let me read some of these other comments where my man Don P gets it together. Okay, they say your sound is low. Homie has passport, bro, in his bio. We'll get to that in a second. Drew in the house. What up, Drew? He says, I believe they already know the leader of the passport bros, Don P. And they thought Don P looks like him. You say BMT, Don P is the leader. Okay. All right. Oh, damn, man. You've been talking good, but they said they can't hear you. All right. I'm going to have to fix the audio in the playback, family. Dan Smith says, I'm proud to be a passport bro. Traveling has opened up a new horizon in my life. And you know what, man? I'm glad you said that, Dan Smith, because when I coined and popularized the phrase, man, hold on, let me see if my man Don P is back.
You got me loud and clear now?
Yeah, you're a little. Let me know in the comment section, guys. Press 1 if my man Don P is coming through loud and clear. Do me a favor. Just press 1 and get some.
Let me know.
Yeah, you sound good to me. You sound good to me. All right,
All
my
right.
man Jay Clyde, in the building. He's also a mod. He says these stories, time and time again, sounds like prisoners who are always innocent is never their fault. Let me ask you this, Don P. In hindsight, do you think that with the current direction that Colombia, especially migration, is trying to like move towards with a different marketing to a different type of tourist, do you think you did anything wrong by promoting certain types of parties in hindsight?
In hindsight, I probably could have changed the marketing, right? I
Mm-hmm.
have no problem saying if I made a mistake, right? So in hindsight, probably the marketing could have been different, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I've always been very open, right? We run parties like that in Los Angeles all the time. We run
Mm-hmm.
parties like that in Mykonos, Greece. We run parties like that all over the world. I mean, I've been on worldwide tours and parties are promoted like that. So it's never been a problem. Okay. So I think the only reason why this really became an issue is because of I have competition there. I run a lot of trips. The competition has reached out to me before, made threats, tried to ruin trips. But it's
Okay,
never
but
was.
they saying they still can't hear you, brother. Do me a favor. Go to your StreamYard and see if you can click on that actual mic. I think you're still talking through your phone. You gotta go there and go to your audio button and see if yeah.
When I hit the button in Stream, I just did an interview in StreamYard. It was no problem. But
Okay.
when I hit the button in StreamYard, um,
The audio button. You hit the audio
yeah, the
button?
audio button mutes the mic.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, hold on a second. Let's go here. Settings. Let's look at the audio. Here we go. What about now?
Much better.
Okay.
Okay, they said I'm loud. Let me turn my mic down a little bit then. If I'm loud.
All right.
Hold on. Let's get it together, brother. Hold on. Let's get it together. They said my audio is loud.
So yeah, we can go back over what we did, so that way we can have it for the live for the replay.
Okay, cool. I just want to give everybody a shout out. We almost got 100 in the room, guys. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button for your boy. We want to go through everything, but I do want to just go back over what happened at migration.
Right.
We can just go over that part.
Absolutely. You got me loud and clear now, right?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you good.
So I arrive at about 2:15, 2:30. I go up to the young lady, give her my passport. She tells me that my passport is flagged. I go and sit down while she gets her supervisor. Her supervisor then motions me to come to a back room where they check my bags, they check my phones. They don't find anything, what they would consider contraband. They don't find anything that they would consider bad on my phones. They put my phone on an additional check, both phones on an additional check. Didn't find anything on that. And then I was waiting back there with some other guys. Several other guys also got denied entry, but I was waiting back there. And while I was waiting, I guess they looked at my social media. And one of the police officers came back and said, "Oh, you're famous." And I said, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." So he left. They told me that they had these anonymous reports. I said, "Okay, let me see the reports." And I don't need to see the name, but let me see what the reports are saying. Maybe I can prove right now that the reports are a lie. And then we can dispense with this whole thing and everybody can go about their business. So then another type of police officer came back and he was asking me questions about my business, whether it was legitimate. I said, yes, it's registered. Everything is on the up and up. I have 6 employees here that depend upon their pay. So I would like to make sure that I get out of here as quickly as possible so that I can continue on doing what I need to do. So
okay, hold on, Duffy. I'm gonna stop you right there real quick. So you do have all the paperwork that needs to be involved for you to, hire people and make money in Colombia.
No, I do all of I want to be very clear about that. The paperwork that I have is on the American side, right?
Okay.
The payments for trips are taken on the American side. Okay. Payments for trips are taken on the American side. Everything is paid for on the American side, which is where I would be responsible for paying taxes too, right? And on the other side, no money is made there. That money goes, addition to their payments, tips, and things of that nature go to everyone who's working the actual trip. The drivers get paid, right? The security gets paid. The concierge get paid. The translators get paid. And they're reporting that money to their government saying, hey, I got paid to do concierge service or transport people, and they're paying taxes on that money. So it's not like I'm getting there and I'm doing business illegally in their country. All of the money is taken on the American side. When I get there, I'm there to have a good time just like everyone else, and everyone on the Colombian side is getting the money. They're the ones that's benefiting and getting paid. That's why I can't charge anything for a party. That's why the party was free.
Okay. And continue what you were saying about going through migration.
So I had a guy that came back. He was a different police officer, and he was asking me, could I show my paperwork? And I have a corporation registered. Everything is up to date and legit. And I did. I showed him that. Then he asked me for personal and business references. I gave them impeccable personal and business references.
Okay.
He said, well, I'm going to have you have these references call this number. So I gave the references the number. They called, they video chatted, they reached out. They said that no one answered the number, or when they answered the number, they listened for a little while and then they hung up. So it was after I had waited a while, and it was probably like 5 o'clock or so this time. And that's when they found the party that was promoted, and they found my social media, and they was like, oh, you're famous. I told them I wasn't. So then, of course, because of the politics that's going on there now, bear in mind, I'm not arrested. I'm not detained. I'm not accused of a crime. All they're saying is, oh, we've received some reports, and they didn't like my social media. Then they wanted to do the video, which I did. They blurred out my face, but they wanted to do the video. And then my 6:20, I was on a plane on my way back to Panama. So this was all in all 4 hours. It was guys that got denied, that they told was going to not be allowed entry, that have been there since 8 in the morning.
Wow. Okay. Let me catch this comment real quick, my man Brandon Clark, because he has a point. He says, what's ironic is rapper Rick Ross and music artist Memphis Bleak, Method Man, all rap about women and promote risky behavior, but they are not denied entry into Colombia. Immigration is not consistent. Funny enough, Brandon, I know another celebrity that's out there. I'm not going to say his name, but it was somebody that I know mutually that was there when he was there, right? And they did question him because he had a bag full of rubbers, some Viagra, all this other stuff. But once they found out who he was, they allowed him in, took pictures with him. So you're right. It is a little inconsistency there, because this celebrity had bottles of Viagra, a bunch of condoms, everything, but they still allowed him in. As a matter of fact, they took photos with him. So you're right there.
Well, I've never expected to be treated fairly in my life. You know, my grandmother told me a long time ago, she said, you're going to have to arrive early and leave late, and you're going to have to work twice as hard to get the same thing as someone else. So I've never expected to be treated fairly. But what I don't like is that there was nothing there to deny me, right? So I don't expect it to be for the treatment to be the same across the board, right? For different people. But if there is something there, tell me what it is so that I can refute it or say that it's true. And deny me based upon solid paperwork that you've given me that shows something that I've done wrong, right? And without that, you know, people are just guessing.
Okay. I want to give a shout out to my man, Fear to None 401. I really appreciate that. $10 super chat or super sticker. I really appreciate that. Now, they didn't actually give you any form of cause to why they're not interested? Did they not say that they felt like your parties were promoting actual tourism?
first of all, my parties couldn't promote actual tourism because it was done with one of their citizens where this was an actual venue. This was an actual venue. So that wasn't going to happen anyway, right? It was an actual venue with a full bar, with a DJ, with everything that a lot of people attend anyway. Okay. So that's the first thing. The second thing I would say is
Now, hold on. Let me interrupt you. But does this bar is it known for hosting those type of females?
I don't know. This was going to be the first time that I had done something with them. I shopped around. They gave me a really good price based upon what I needed, you know, because I wanted people to be able to have a good time, drink freely, hookah. I even had negotiated to bring food in and everything because I wanted people to have a good time. But I don't know because I have never actually partied in there. We had an agreement of how it was going to be set up, how much I needed to pay, and what they were going to provide.
Okay. I got a question here by my man, Homie's Hub. He says, when they deny you entry, do you have to agree to take the photo and video? Did you know they were going to post you?
I didn't know that they were going to post me. But I got the distinct feeling that if you don't take this video, because now I understand the video is for political reasons, and government agencies want to make it appear that they're doing an excellent job so that they can continue to get more and more budget. That's just how budgets work. I'm not upset at them for what they believe to be them doing their job. I look at it and say, you didn't have anything showing that I had broken any laws in your country, committed any crimes, or done anything wrong. That was my problem. But I got the distinct feeling that if you don't take the video, that it's going to escalate quickly. I can say that.
So another $2 super chat by my man, the homie. So I appreciate that, homie. Did they force you to take that photo?
I wouldn't say they forced me. I always had a choice, but I got the distinct impression that if I didn't, things were going to escalate very quickly. Now, you got to understand, I'm not here to prove a point when I'm in that country. I'm here to make money and to keep my word based upon what I said that I was going to do. These guys are paid to come on this trip, and it's my job to deliver. I'm trying to get to a place where I can deliver for them. You know what I'm saying? So me getting locked up and being locked up for a couple of days and guys arriving and my team not having the information that they needed for me so that they can do their jobs is a bad look. It's a bad look. It's not about me. It's about the team, and it's about the guys that are going. You know, if I got to take an L, who cares? Who cares if I take an L? You know, it's about the client, and the client comes first with what we're trying to do. So I would take another L if I had to for the client. You know, I don't mind that. But the client is not going to be helped by me trying to stand on a point when I know that I got the ability to go back and fix later when they're in the air and they're on the way there and everything is supposed to be ready for them. You know what I'm saying? So as a businessman, and bear in mind, no other man has been responsible for writing me a check for the last 25 years. I've created my own through my companies and through vendors. So I haven't worked for someone else for 25 years. And when you own a company, the buck stops with you. You don't get to pass it on and have excuses. Well, I got stopped. Well, this happened. You don't get the luxury of the excuses. So I'm looking at it from a standpoint, you want to take the picture, video, let's take it, let's move on.
Okay. And you mentioned that these are possibly your competitors that reported you. Are these Colombian like locals, or are these other, American competitors?
One is local. One is local. She's actually a very well known on the app that I probably have the most followers on. And then another one is from the States. Now, I hired an attorney in Medellin to get the paperwork so that we can actually see the reason for the denial, right? because there's supposed to be some paperwork. I got nothing. I received nothing. They didn't stamp. I looked at my passport, said maybe they're going to stamp the nod in my passport, right? So essentially, I had to go through immigration on the Panama side. So I checked in like I was visiting Panama on their side, so I wouldn't have any problems coming through Panama. You know, again, it wouldn't look like I just went to Medellin and just popped up in Panama and never came back. So I was given nothing. No.
Okay. I got a question here from Timothy Wright. He says, Dunn and BMT, I recently heard carrying condoms is a no-no by word of mouth, not by anyone else's channel. Is this true about condoms? No one knows if a man's getting in or preventing STDs. But you didn't have condoms on you anyway, so.
I didn't, but I want to speak to that for, you know, not only my clients that might be listening that are going, or clients that guys might hit me and say, hey, Don, put a trip together for us. You cannot have condoms. You cannot have lube. You cannot have Smex toys of any kind. You cannot have honey packs. You cannot have any type of male enhancements, even if it's a prescription from your doctor. Even if it's a prescription from your doctor. You cannot have gifts for what might be your fiance or girlfriend there of any kind. Women's clothes of any kind. You cannot have dating apps on your phone. You cannot have messages or pictures on your phone, even between you and your lady, that might be considered spicy. Messages that might be considered spicy, pictures that might, or video that might be considered spicy, right? You cannot have any of that on your phone. You think that you can just delete it and it's not there. They have software that can go and grab deleted files.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, you think that you're going to put them in the hidden folder? No, you're not. That there is no way to hide things on a digital device, period. But I didn't have any of those things.
I got a lot of comments here in the comment section. Shout out to my man T-Mac, he's always representing. He says, making money in a country without the correct visa or license is illegal. Do you think that had pretty much anything to do with it? Absolutely not.
Because what he doesn't understand that I understand about business is where are you actually collecting the revenue? Where's the actual business taking place? Where are you collecting the revenue? I'm collecting revenue stateside. I'm providing services stateside before they ever arrive there. Once they arrive there, everything has been paid. Everything has been paid. I'm not like, hey, you need to give me the rest of your money. It's already paid. So when we get to Colombia, essentially what we're doing is paying people in Colombia who are paying taxes in Colombia for their services. And I would like to mention that I paid them 3 times what the average Colombian makes in a month in 1 week. I paid them 3 times. So what the average Colombian makes in a month, I paid them 3 times that in 1 week, and that does not include their tips.
I think where people are getting confused at is, you know, yeah, if you have like a bar, like my boy had a rooftop bar back in the day called Vibes, you know, that's what you would need, the visas and the special work permits and all that. But if you're throwing a party and you're primarily, you know, you're not having a brick and mortar business, you know, while there, you're throwing a party, like you say, you're connecting the revenue on the American side, and you're doing like an event more so than actually, you know, doing a brick and mortar business in Colombia.
The party was free. Nobody had to pay any money that came on the trip for the party. It was completely free, right? The party was completely free. So, and the people that were benefiting from the party were Colombians. They were benefiting from the party. I didn't want anything to be charged. I didn't want there to be a cover charge. I didn't want there to be charges for alcohol, charges for hookah, unless they were a part of a separate group. But I wanted a whole, like, more than 24 tables for myself. You know what I'm saying? And everybody that was with my party, I wanted everything to be free, paid for by me. So I don't understand how, if I'm throwing a free party and you're going to benefit as a city from the tax revenue, I don't understand how that's a problem.
Okay. So let me ask you this. They kind of grouped you in there with Chill Capo, Casey Redbeard. Did you hear of their situation previously?
I heard of Capo's situation, but I've never heard of Redbeard's situation.
So when you heard of that situation about what he went through for pretty much doing something similar, throwing parties, did you not kind of take a wind of that a little bit? Like, well, wait a minute, they got him. Maybe I should change my direction of marketing, or
I didn't know what happened with him. I just saw that he was no longer there, so I didn't really look into it. I mean, my days start very early and they end very late. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, his situation was way different because they went into the club, they got him, they basically reported him. You know, and I think he was on overstay too, if I'm not mistaken.
He told me what happened, you know, because he reached out to me after he saw what happened with me, because they started putting my face and his face on the same videos that they were making of me, right? They started putting my face, his face,
and calling them all passport bros, basically.
Right. So we had a good conversation, and he kind of enlightened me on what happened with him. But, you know, our situations were very different, right? I make my money off of doing all of the hard work here in the States, organizing and prepping the trip. So when a guy comes, everything is set up for him. Whether it's going to be ATV ride and go out to pay, whether it's going to be you wanting to take tours of the city, whatever it's going to be, the type of place that you want to stay in, type of food that you want to eat, reservations being made. It's a concierge service, right? It's a travel concierge service. So 99% of everything that I have to do is on the American side. When I get there, it's pretty much handshake, and I'm just like them. I'm there to have a good time and enjoy my time with them.
Okay, let me catch this comment here. Actually, a super chat here, but my man T-Mac 2506, man, shout out to you. I appreciate the super chat. He says, "I am not here to pass judgment nor attack, but what the gentleman said about where you collect revenue is not accurate. I do have the correct visa and a business license." Do you want to address that?
I have an accountant who's very good. I've known him for over 20 years. I got him the first time I ever got audited. He set everything up. He's well known. He looked into it, said, "I'm fine."
This is a Colombian accountant.
No, it's an accountant in America. He looked into it, but he handles tours. So he handles tours worldwide. Okay. In multiple jurisdictions, he handles tours. Right. So big tours with big artists and big names. So you're going on a worldwide tour. You might do 100 dates. You might do 80 dates. And you're going from this country to this city, to that place, to that place, to that place, to that place.
You know, I guess we have to do like more research on this, man, because like I said before, you pretty much throwing an event. I wouldn't consider it an event to be
a free event.
Oh yeah, a free event. Right.
What taxes are there to pay on a free event, other than the sales taxes on the things that we consume?
And they didn't mention anything to you.
No.
About you violating, or hey, you need a work permit. Did they ask you about a work permit or anything like that?
No, they asked me, is my company registered in the States? And I gave them the appropriate paperwork to prove that I had a legitimate company registered in the States. That's what they asked me.
Do you think that whoever reported you, did they say that you was the leader or the creator of the Passport Bros? Like, where do you think that came from?
I think that came from whoever wrote the article.
Yeah.
They wanted the salt bay. They wanted to add a little spice to it, and they got creative. A lot of creative writing.
And for somebody like myself who came from a media background, you're almost taught to lead with like a hot tagline. Otherwise, no people are going to just glance by it. So I understand that, it's a lie. Do you have any? Are you going to like try to prosecute? What's all this? The hell about my background? I don't know what's going on with all this iPhone shit. But anyway, do you plan on like going in for defamation or lying or anything like that with the media?
I have secured an attorney. I will be speaking with them again. I've already been in contact with them multiple times, but we'll be having another conversation on Monday, and we'll take whatever appropriate steps that we need to make sure that the record is corrected and this is seen as what it is, which are fake lies. I'm not the leader of Passport Bros, and I don't care to be a leader of Passport Bros. You know what I care about? Black on a page, numbers. I care about profit. That's all I care about. And I care about my people being taken care of and in terms of the people that are going to work and my clients being happy. Other than that, I don't care about what people say about me, but I need to correct the record. So I'm going to do so. But for me, it's no ego involved in that. If it wasn't for the outrageousness of what they said, I would have just laughed it off and waved it off and moved on in life. I live a beautiful life, man. I would have just waved it off. But they got so outrageous with it. The lies got so fairy tale that you got to address it. And I'm not the right person to address it. An attorney there in Medellin is the perfect person to address that.
And I want to address something here because a lot of people don't understand. They said you don't have a case that country can do what they want. That's not true. You can still sue for defamation in these countries. You can do that. I know that for a fact.
Well, if I didn't have a case, my attorney wouldn't have taken the retainer because I reached out to several of the top law firms there. Some of them said, it's not really what we do. We more doing immigration. And others said, well, this is the way that they're going to go at it. We don't want to take that case because of this. But the ones that agreed said, oh, hell yeah, you got a massive case. You got a real case.
Well, because they associate you with ex-tourism, and that's defamation if it's not true.
Right.
Especially if they don't have proof.
Right.
Right. Like they could be endangering your business. They could be endangering your life. They're labeling something just so they can get clicks and views.
Right. It was clickbait. I will say this. I wasn't handled roughly by Migration. I wasn't treated meanly, right? The only thing that I would say that I didn't like in the process was the video. I thought that was completely a political stunt, and I thought that was intended to humiliate, embarrass, and to put forth an image and an idea that wasn't true.
So in hindsight, do you wish you would have denied the video and said, no, I don't want to be on video. I don't want no photos?
That's hard to say because I would have never known whether I was going to get into the country to meet and greet the guys that were on their way. You see what I'm saying?
So okay.
I'm not looking at this, and people need to understand, I'm not looking at this from my personal perspective. I've been to Medellin a lot of times, right? I'm not looking at it from my personal perspective. I have to look at it from a business and client perspective. I can't let my ego trying to buck big and bad get in the way of me doing what's right for my business and the clients.
Do you have plans on returning to Colombia, or are you pretty much done?
Well, I have a trip of 13 guys there right now. I have trips planned for the rest of the year with guys. After this,
so you still planning trips?
Yeah, I'm a businessman. I'm a businessman.
Right. Are you going to change like the marketing, like maybe remove the Passport Bros or something like that, or you still going to continue doing what you're doing? Because if that's what you got you denied, why would you continue doing it?
Well, my business doesn't stop. My business is running right now. I'm sitting on a beach in San Diego, and my business is running. I can run this business from the beach. The business is going to still run. Nothing changes about the business running. None of the guys were denied entry. They haven't had any problems. None of the clients have had any problems, right? I got 13 guys right there right now having a wonderful, amazing time, right? And you wouldn't know them from the other 2 million guys that are there unless I was standing next to them, right?
Okay.
And I'm not standing next to them, right? So as far as me going back to Colombia, I don't know. We'll see what happens with my attorney. But as far as me making sure that clients are safe, they have a good time, they're protected, they have translators, they understand the money, they get great deals on, places to stay and flights. I'm going to continue to do that because that's my business.
So you don't think that like Colombia, they're trying to change like the perception of, what Colombia is known for. So
And
you don't.
they need to make some things illegal.
Okay.
You want to change the perception, you need to actually change the law.
But you see how that could kind of be a issue because as a foreigner, you're telling them what they should do for the type of what they want in their country.
It's their country. They can do whatever they want to do. But you remember in our country, when we wanted people to stop smoking, what did we do? We said you can't advertise cigarettes on TV. You can't advertise cigarettes on billboards, things of that nature. We put in laws. If they really have anything in their mind that they want to change the perception of, I think it comes down to their lawmakers doing that. Because perception has to be reality when you're talking about government, right? So do they want to change the perception or do they want to change the reality? That's what they have to be asked. Do you want to have people believe something or do you want to have people see something real? It's up to them. You know what I'm saying? It's not my country. I vote in every election here. And, I vote the way that I vote to help my family and my friends. But for them, they're trying to change it's not going to help you to change the perception to deny entry to people that put hundreds of thousands of dollars into your economy. That doesn't help change the perception. And who is single-handedly responsible for 6 of your citizens being able to feed their family, who they then take taxes out of those earnings, that revenue. I don't see how that fixes the perception issue.
Okay. And guys, if you want to follow my man Don P, he has a big TikTok page. That's the tag up under your name, Don P Sounds Off, and also your YouTube channel, man. Do you do a lot of stuff on YouTube as well?
I'm getting ready to. That's the next phase of what I'm getting ready to do on social media. Okay.
So do you think out of everything that triggered this, outside of the people that you say might have flagged you, the competition, do you think the nail in the coffin was your social media?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I do. So I've talked with marketing in my company, and we're going to look at other ways to market and other ways to do things. But, realistically, when this news dropped, I booked multiple trips the day that the news dropped.
Okay.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, we'll look at the marketing and we'll look at everything and we'll do everything that we can to market in a way that makes everybody feel happy and comfortable. But like I said, business goes on, the trips go on. Nothing stops. Business goes on, it moves on.
Okay. And let me ask you this, man. Now, O'Shea Duke Jackson, I actually sent you the video. You might have already saw it. His take on your situation. And I'm not going to play the video or anything like that, but do you feel like O'Shea Duke Jackson did a fair assessment in what happened, or is there anything that you want to say in response to the video that he did?
I haven't seen his take yet, so I'm not sure. What was his take? Summarize it for me real quick.
He was basically kind of saying similar to what I'm saying, that the country is trying to make a pivot and they don't want to be known for a certain thing, basically.
Okay.
And he said that you wasn't a bad guy or anything like that, but he commented on you throwing money. I didn't see you throw money on any of your social media, but he said something about throwing money and that making black men look bad to that extent. Don't quote me on that, but I know he mentioned something about throwing money in the club. Was you throwing money in the club?
Oh, I do money.
Okay.
I do bands. I ain't just throw money. I do bands.
You do bands in Colombia.
Yeah.
Oh, you hot, man. You hot.
Yeah.
You hot.
I mean, at the end of the day, see, this is the thing about me, BMT. My platform blew up and people book my trips because they know that I'm not going to lie to them. If I say I'm going to do something for you, I'm going to do it. If something goes wrong, I'm going to do everything in my power to fix it, right? So I'm not here to lie on anybody's platform. I'm telling the truth. Yeah, I threw bands in the club and enjoyed it. Had a great time.
I think that's like one of the criticisms of, not necessarily Passport Bros, of just black men in general, because like throwing money, that's not really a thing overseas, and people might look at that as kind of like disrespect to a certain degree. You're bringing what our culture is to another country on top of you putting a target on your back as well, for throwing money. People might consider that's, unsafe to do.
I never felt unsafe in Medellin, ever.
Oh, wow. I felt unsafe many times in Medellin.
You got to understand.
How long have you spent in Medellin at one time?
2 months.
Okay, you gotta be there a little longer, brother. Because I mean, but you gotta be there a little longer if you ain't never felt safe. If you always felt safe in Medellin,
I'm there for 2 months. I leave for a couple of weeks. I go back another 2 months. I leave for a couple of weeks. That type of stuff. I mean, bro, you got to understand. I was in LA when LA is no joke. Los Angeles is no joke.
Facts. That's facts.
Los Angeles will take you out for the principle of it. It ain't no warnings. It ain't no we gonna do this. It ain't no threats. It's just you're out of here, right? So I know how to move, and I know what I'm doing. And all of my trips had security that people did not see, but that was there. All of my trips. So I do what's called Overwatch security, right? It's cats that you see them and you just see that's another guy or another group of guys at a table partying, having a good time. That's security. That's people who are there to make sure that not only am I safe, but all of the people that came are safe. So I do Overwatch security. So you might not see the security there, but it's there. It's there to protect you. But I think the people in Colombia and Medellin, Colombia, are some of the most generous people in the world.
They are.
I met a lot of incredible people there, older people, younger people, people that will give you the shirt off their backs, man, that help you in any way that they can. So my thought process about the people of Colombia is that they're the salt of the earth. They're great people.
They are.
My process thought when I go, like Chil Capo told me, go look at the Migration post. Look what they're saying in the comments under the post. My thought process is that Medellin, Colombia has a group of people that are, let's say it very clearly, there's a segment. This is not the majority by any stretch of the imagination. There's a segment of people that will use race to inflame a situation. And, I'm going to tell you a mistake that I made. I ignored that element and I was naive to it. And that's a mistake. That's a mistake that I'll never make again, because I knew it. I felt it. I wasn't directly affected by it because the way that I moved and the way that I set everything up. But when you go to that Migration page and you look at that article, which is not true, and you look at the comments and what they're saying, some of those comments are very racist and very disgusting.
That's true.
And Chil Capo is the one that pointed me to it, and I was like, wow, this is pretty bad. This is not.
Are the majority comments coming from the locals there or other foreigners that are non-black?
when you hear N-word get out of our country, you would consider that they're a part of that country, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but on social media, you don't know. It could be people trolling. It could be a lot of things. So I don't really know from that aspect.
Yeah. All right, I got my man Chill Capo official in the building. He said, "Shout out to my boy Don P. Speak your truth, bro. These dudes only care about likes and clicks. Keep telling your side, brother." Shout out to my man Chill Capo. You know what's interesting, man? I was just telling a friend of mine about this. Like when I first got to Medellin in 2019, it was like you was almost a celebrity down there to be Black American because they love the hip hop, they love the culture. You hear Tupac, Biggie, and you're interesting to them because you're American and you're Black and you come from this popularized worldwide culture of influential music. Let's say that you have a lot of Colombians, Latinos that want to rap, stuff like that. So it's like you kind of like a low key, like a celebrity more so than the local Blacks there or Black people coming from other countries like Africa or anything like that. As a matter of fact, you had a popular YouTuber named Ayamara who was telling people that he was Black American when he's kinging. You see what I'm saying? All because of, it was popular to be Black American. And I think for the most part, it still is. But what we have to recognize, and I want for us to understand this, is that when we go to these countries, they're not necessarily used to seeing Black people, Black men in general, with money. That's not to say that they don't have Black men with money in that country, like Latin America, Africa, Colombia or anything like that. But those Black men that have money are usually going to be in Cali, Choco, kind of in their respective zones. And you got Black Paisas with money too, that own clubs and everything. I'm not saying that. But for the most part, they kind of like stay in their own lane, whereas we have the freedom to kind of go everywhere, anywhere. Now, in person, you're not going to really feel it because, we paying, we polite and everything. Black Americans known for being, good with the money and all stuff like that. They don't have to worry about us stealing or cunning or anything like that. But when you go online, that's when you see what some people really think. As a matter of fact, I even have a little racist little Latino YouTuber, right? And he was like trolling me and saying all this negative shit. And I said, hey, brother, do you know how many food drives I've done? Do you know how much I've given to the indigenous population of Colombia? I never post none of this stuff. Like I went out to Rio Hacha and I went to those reservations with indigenous people. I've given money. I never show it. And I showed him this and he deleted it because he wants it now to be that just Black men just going for sex. But we know Black men are providing jobs there in some cases, right? Getting long-term relationships with the locals there. Go ahead.
I got the best sleep of my life in Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
I would sleep. When the guys left, I would stay a week after, maybe sometimes 2-3 weeks after. Bro, and I would get such good sleep, right? I would get rest, like real rest, like my soul would rest. Because, I'm away from the hustle and bustle of Cali. It's very busy, big cities, all of the stuff to do. And I could just recuperate and rest and relax and just chill and watch a show, open up the windows, the balcony, and just chill. It was always a place of rest and recuperation for me. So I'm gonna pose this to you and the audience. Let's say Colombia enacts and passes a whole slew of morality laws, banning substances, banning partying, heavy partying, late night partying. They close the clubs early. They close places early. There's days where you can't buy alcohol, banning prostitution, banning everything. Let's say that they pass these morality clauses, right?
Mm-hmm.
To me, that goes to what you were saying earlier. That would be them changing the perception, because it would be a reality. Now, I want you to ask your audience if the partying was gone, if the late night partying was gone, if all of the fun activities there were gone, how many people would go?
I don't know, man. People will still go to Colombia, brother. I think people will still, maybe not as many, but right now, people are trying to, like, the formula right now is geo arbitrage. You want to work online, make $20 an hour, but you want to live somewhere else where it's cheaper. So I think you still have that digital nomad crowd that will still make Colombia like a priority or a stop. Even though Medellin is getting super expensive now, I still think it's, areas like Itagüí, on the outskirts that you can still get an apartment for $400-500 a month. Homie, it says your device not connected, bro. Try to connect your device. Do you mind doing a panel? Staying on for a second to do a panel?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Homie, your device not connected, bro. Connect your device. I got my man Tunnel Runner. Tunnel Runner. What's going on, brother?
Everything's good, man. Everything's good.
All right, what you got to say, bro?
Yeah, I mean, brothers just got to understand there's thousands and thousands of black brothers going to Colombia and having no problems. Like the government has said, they only turned around 107 people, and all of them were not black. Majority of them the majority was not black. So you just gotta be coming with some sense. You got to make sure you don't have a digital footprint. You can't be coming in with a whole bunch of. You can't be coming in silly. Come in like a regular man, you'll probably be okay. Come in, act like you are a grown man, you probably be all right.
Okay. That's a good
If
point.
brother was trying to do business, like you say, you have jealous people out there who are not getting the money and trying to, there's always haters out there. Anybody who's successful gonna have haters. So you got to protect yourself at all times. I always tell brothers protect yourself at all times because you don't know who's coming for you. But he's trying to do his business and he was successful for a while and he probably will still be successful as long as he keeps his keeps his nose clean and like I say, he's doing the things that protect yourself. So hopefully he will be able to come back to Colombia in the future.
I've traveled all over the world. I've never been arrested. I've never been detained. I've never had any issues. I don't have an arrest record. I don't commit crimes. 90% of my money is made off of a long career in music, where I get royalties. This business I started because I wanted other people who were afraid to go and see the world. I wanted them to be able to see the world, and I wanted them to be able to do it in a way where they weren't feeling around in the dark and putting themselves in potentially dangerous situations. So it was nothing for, with all due respect to you, Tunnel. I didn't do anything wrong to keep my nose clean there. This was a combination of politically motivated and competition. But here's the thing: I hate to tell the competition but there's a trip going on right now. It's 13 guys. They're having a blast. They're having the time of their life, and they have all of our resources and all of our people taking care of them. There's another trip coming up next month, and it's going to be a blast. So, I don't matter in the grand scheme of the team. The team is much more important than me. I mean nothing in the grand scheme of the team. So as long as the team is doing good, and as long as the clients are happy and they're having a good time and they feel safe, I'm happy with that. Whether I go back to Colombia or I never go back to Colombia, because I've been there over a bunch of times, ridiculous amount of times.
Okay, I'm gonna catch this comment real quick, my man. Felipe, he says Colombia is switching up a little in response to public pressure of foreigners driving up prices. I don't think that has anything to do with what my man Don P was accused of. We talking about a free party here. All right.
I have heard that sentiment though, BMT. I've heard that sentiment on the street. I've heard that sentiment on comments, right? And man, that's just the way of the world, ain't it? That's just the way of the world, ain't it? Things in Inglewood used to be really cheap until Steve Ballmer came down there and built and built it up.
I'm gonna give you one more. When I was in when I returned to Medellin, and I got you, Chill. I'm bring you on in a second, Chill. When I got to Medellin, back to Medellin in 2023, I heard people speaking English You know, I'm looking at when I first got there in 2019. It's like you had Latinos, you had blacks, you had a sprinkle of Europeans, you had, but not really white Americans like that, right? But when I went back in 2023 and I saw the blonde-haired white girls jogging around from like California, I said, it's a wrap. Anytime you see the blonde-haired white girls jogging, you've been regentified. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like,
right.
Yeah.
go up. That's not a shot. That's not racist. I'm just telling you the truth. And that's exactly what happened. I said, oh, it's about to be $1,200 a month for an apartment in Poblado. Mark my word. Just like that. The apartment I had in 2020 was $600 a month. That same apartment is $1,200 now. 3 years later. No, 5 years later, something like that.
Yeah, things have changed a lot because I've been going to Colombia for like 12 years, and so yeah, things have changed a whole lot.
Oh yeah. And you know, it's sad because I told a friend of mine, I said, bro, you know, when you pay $1,400 a month for an apartment, you're pretty much screwing everybody else in that building because the owner's going to say, oh, somebody's silly enough to pay us $1,400 a month for a one bedroom. The other people are going to start trying to charge the same amount. And that's going to push out the locals, basically.
And then there'll be a crash, and it'll all start over again.
Yeah.
It goes in a cycle every single time. There'll be a crash, and it'll all start over again.
Yeah,
right,
and Colombia is famous for everybody jumping on something, and then it crashes, and they start over again.
You know what? It's funny that you mentioned that, man. I was like one of the first ones to do promote a day party during COVID in Medellin. There was a curfew that you had to be in the house at 8 p.m., right? And everybody was going crazy in Medellin because, you know, you got to be in the house. You know, Medellin is known for the nightlife. So I did a day party at Vibes Rooftop, right? It was packed. I got clips, everything, no pros, just locals, you know, Americans. We had like the best time ever. The very next week, you had all the clubs in Parquilleres and, you know, doing day parties now. So they be watching. When they see success, they will copy it.
Right.
And they will see you as a competitor. And the funny thing is, the only reason I threw that day party, you know, because I gave the idea to a friend of mine who owned the club. I said, man, listen, we do day parties in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? People got jobs and shit. So we do day parties. Let's do the day parties here. And it was a win. It was a W. What up, Chill?
What's good, my guy?
What's good, man? What you got to say on this, brother? Welcome to the show.
Oh man, I'm just tapping in, man. You know, long time listener, first time caller type shit. You know? Okay.
Sorry. BMT.
Yeah,
the same thing with hamburgers. What became real big. They started to hamburger. Everybody in Colombia started these hamburger businesses, and they kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger until everybody was doing it. Then it crashed. You know what I'm saying? So everything in Colombia is like that.
Yeah, that's everywhere. Even here in Thailand, there's like 2,000 dispensaries every block. You know what I'm saying? Now they're selling grams for like $2 now because there's so many. But go ahead, Chill. I didn't want to interrupt you. Go ahead, brother. What you got to say?
Nah, you good, bro. I'm just you know, tapping in, man. Everything that Don P going through, you know, I'm the soldier boy of this shit. You know what I mean? Like I started this.
Well, your situation was a little more intense than his, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely, because it was just personal. Like my situation was personal. Anybody that can't just stand back now after this amount of time and really look at the facts, look at all the because when everybody was making their videos, when my situation first happened, just like Don P's, everybody was just posting whatever, you know, they was going off of the Colombian headlines. So whatever the Colombian headlines was, everyone just treated that as the fact, and everything that they said was 40% fact. You know, the rest of it was bullshit. But I get it. You know what I mean? Like at that point, I was the hottest thing on the internet that had to do with Colombia and gringos or whatever for that week and a half, 2 weeks. I mean, they still posted me with Don. So obviously I mean something to them. I meant something to the city after I put in so much time, so much work. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the stuff I was just doing off the love because I got tired of seeing American people end up dead on the street on the news every other weekend. And I was like, damn, if they just had a nigga like me, excuse my French, around them that knew the lay of the land, that knew how things work, that have the associations that I needed to have to make sure everything was good across all playing fields. None of the girls was going to try you if they seen you with me, because they know after you leave, Capo's still going to be here. If you do anything to my friends, my homies, anybody, Capo on your head. And they knew that. So I kept the girls in line. You know what I'm saying? I ran everything quietly. You know what I mean? Like, the internet didn't see 98% of the stuff that was happening in my life for that time period that I was in Medellin. So, like, I didn't start making content until my last 8 months in the country. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Like,
do you think? Because I think you mentioned that it was your competitors that might have an issue with you. Do you think it was the competitors that might have, reported you, or do you think it was your marketing?
no, I don't think I know. You know what I mean? Like, I know everybody involved in the situation, street level, political level. Like, I know everybody who was involved. I know how much money was sent to who to get rid of the situation. Sky Park are the people that set me up. They're the only people who knew about my visa situation, because I told them that's why I couldn't do another party with them, because I had to leave, reset my visa. My son graduated high school 2 weeks after my visa expired. So I already had it planned to leave. I already had my situation set up. So they said, okay, boom, why don't you do another party with us? January, I do another party, my birthday party, the last event that I did with them. I was like, yo, the club's kind of falling off. Business ain't really good. For me, it isn't even worth it to still keep doing events because things were starting to slow down. So I'm like, I'm just gonna cool it on the parties. I have my one R&B event that I do outside of the park. You know what I mean? Every time I've done it, I've never done it in the park and nothing like that. It's R&B, grown and sexy vibes. And after that, it was what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, I chilled. Then Gustos came up to me and said, yo, we got a bag for you to book 2 DJs. We want you to book 2 famous DJs. We're converting over to hip hop. We want all the black people to know that they can come here. Now that Sky Park is closed down, everybody can't go to Club Glow. So bring them to Gustos. I said, okay, let's do one party. Give me the money for the DJ. I'll pay the expenses. It's up. So they promote it for 2 weeks. The night of the event, I get snatched up in the club. Who else knew that I was going to be up in that club? Who else knew about my visa situation? When they came in the club, they grabbed the DJ. They didn't even grab me. They grabbed the DJ thinking it was me because they assumed I was the DJ. They didn't even know who they were looking for. They just knew Capo. So it was a targeted. It was a targeted situation. The social media.
So you think it was like a pay thing that somebody paid somebody to kind of get you on the bottom?
Social media is what the immigration people use to make their case look better. They had to be able to paint me as this sex tourist pimp nigga. I'm a pimp just because I got diamonds. I'm tall. I'm black. I'm popular. Maybe women just like me naturally. You know what I'm saying? Why I gotta be a pimp? Like, making money off a $100 prostitute isn't really a feasible thing. My penthouse was $3,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? So pimping, that doesn't work in Colombia because there's too many hoes. And I moved from Las Vegas, so I came from a pimp city to Medellin. So that pimping shit, I definitely know about that. You're not gonna make no money in Medellin like that because nobody want to bust over $100 or if anything an amount at all. Because at the end of the day, they're coming there for cheap box. That's the point. If they want to pay expensive box, they stay at home. They stay in Miami. They stay in LA. That's the reality. That's what dudes go out there for. All I tried to do.
That's not. Hold on. Yeah, that's not what all dudes go out there for now. It's a percentage of dudes.
Let's say a good. Would you say it's a bigger percentage do than don't?
I don't know. I don't know where everybody travel for, brother.
You don't know. No, you don't know why men go to Colombia. Don P, my brother.
But hold on. That's based on the assumption. I didn't go to Colombia for that. I already had a girlfriend.
I'm saying I would willing to bet more men do travel to Colombia to meet women. That's the goal at the end of the day.
That's you guessing something. That's your hypothesis about it, right?
It's
But
a pretty educated guess.
Well, this is the thing. The reason I say this is because I mentioned this earlier to Don P. I said right now everybody's geo arbitrage. So you got guys like myself that left the States because things were getting way too expensive, and I happened to be already in a relationship with a Colombian woman who was like, "Yeah, just move here to Medellin. It's cheaper, because I was making my money online." So you do have that aspect of it too. I think that's the thing that y'all forget. What you're talking about is like the weekend warriors. I'm talking about the guys.
I'm not talking about people that moved there.
Lived out there.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking. I lived there for 4 years. I'm not talking about us. We didn't give a shit. If you live in Colombia, you get burnt out of that shit in 2 weeks. That every day, it's like living in Miami and going to South Beach every day. Or you live in New York and you go to Times Square every day. Or I lived in Las Vegas and I go to the Strip every day. You're not going to do that. So I get it from that standpoint. Yes, people like us that were living there legally, had visas, had, like community ties. I didn't have to go to the park unless I was picking up money.
See, people say I'm here capping. I'm not capping. I'm talking about the dudes that have actually moved there. You keep talking about, not you, but I'm talking about the weekend warriors, the guys that, I'm not saying it's not guys that go out there for that. All right. But I'm saying that there are guys, and we don't know if it's a majority or minority of guys that, either want traditional relationships or plan on moving there full time. I want to welcome the mayor to the show. The mayor, are you there? The mayor, you on mute, brother. You there?
What's good? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What's good, man? You ain't cammed up, but we know who you are, brother. What's good with you?
Ain't nothing, man. What up, Capo, man? Yo, I just left Medi, man. I just left Medi in Cartagena, man. Sky Park is closed, man.
Yeah, I heard. They always close. They always close because they got to change the name and rebrand. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't wish nobody no ill shit. Like, those is my people for 4 years. They just did some emotional shit because they got mad about some business, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
You can't trust these folks.
You can't. Man, you got an echo, brother. You got an echo, man. You got two phones. What you got going on over there?
One second.
Oh man.
Hindsight 2020, man. Hindsight 2020.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. We got 213 in the room, by the way. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button for your boy. Go ahead, man.
Basically, when I just got back, from out there, and yeah, man, y'all famous right now, man. Y'all on the news, man, like TV news. You know
who's in TV news?
These two gentlemen right here.
Damn.
I know. I see it. I get tagged to it every couple of hours.
Yeah.
I know Don's seeing it. Don, I know you. Your Colombia engagement going through the roof right now. I know your stats looking crazy.
Not so. Can y'all hear me?
We hear you.
So look, I'm walking around. I'm just talking to
Mayor. You got echo, man. You're borking out, brother.
Hold on.
You got to fix it.
1 second.
Yeah, you got to fix it. Don P, did you know you was on the news? I didn't know you guys was in the news. I thought this was just strictly like blogs. But did you guys know that y'all was in the news?
Yeah, I know everything was going on over there, man. I knew I was in the news. I knew the engagement was crazy.
I've been in the news since April, so it ain't nothing new. Just another week. But it's just funny how they associate every black person. You know what I'm saying? If he throwing an event, I had events. You know what I'm saying? So we got to bridge them together. We got to put the story together. You know, we got to squeeze some more life out of this Chill Capo name. And then we moving on to the next guy. It's like, I've been gone for 4 months. There's no reason to bring my name up. There's no reason to mention me, post my face. You know, they already got the other post taken down for copyright. That's why they mad, so they trying to run it back. There are no other posts about me on the internet. You know what I mean? People got to learn how to protect their rights and protect their identity. You know what I mean? Same way that the white folks do it. You got to learn how to do that too. Don't let people play with your name on this internet just because they monetizing, they turning your life and your problems into their monetization. Don't let people play with you.
Don P, how you feel about that, brother? About being, I didn't know you guys was on the news. Like, how do you take that?
I mean,
what's this
it's a lot of fairy tales, right? So they want to make something where there is nothing. I can't do anything to stop it, but I have an attorney that's going to make sure that anything that's said that is incorrect or anything that's put out there that is defamatory or using my copyrights is taken down. That's what I have to do. That's what I got to do. So I'm just going to do what needs to be done. I mean, but for me, like I said, I don't have any ego in this, right? It's not about me. It's about my clients, and it's about the people that get paid and feed their family. And, you know, because I know what it's like to be poor. I've been poor before, very poor. And I knew what it's like to, you know, we got to make this $10 stretch. So that's what I worry about. I'm not worrying about my name. I'm going to let the attorney protect it, like Chill said, like Capo said. I'm going to let my attorney do what she needs to do to protect my name. But I'm more concerned about making sure that the business is running smoothly so everybody, including clients and people that work for me, are happy and taken care of.
I want to ask you this, Chill. Now, I've been wanting to ask you this, brother. In hindsight, would you have done anything different, or you just think that in general you was railroaded? Oh, hold on. I think you're on mute, brother. Yeah, you're on mute.
My fault.
Okay.
In hindsight, overall, I would have did everything the same. Probably the only major things that I was like, all right, yeah, I did that. That's true. The video about the wheelchair shit, just because that should have just been I tell my people directly, whoop-de-whoop, and been done with that, because that's not nothing to me that's like groundbreaking news. Anyone who's ever traveled before, if you've requested a wheelchair, you've been pushed to the front of the line. Like in Atlanta, that was like the game. Like leaving out of Atlanta airport, everybody, you see 5,000 people on a wheelchair. Like I lived in Atlanta for 10 years. So like we was doing that in Atlanta. That wasn't a big deal to us. You know what I'm saying? So knowing that already, I was like, all right, fuck it. I get that question so many times. Yo, what's up with that? How do you do that? So I just put it on the internet. Now, mind you, at that time when I made that video, I didn't have the level of views and followers and all. I didn't have any of that stuff. I was still brand new to Colombia when I made that video. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, it's like nobody's gonna see this. I just had that shit up there that whole time and never thought to take it down, because that's years of scrolling back. You know, I'm not thinking about, oh, this one video is gonna be seen. So that was probably a big mistake on my end.
What about your other page, Unseen? Who got YouTube in the background? Somebody got YouTube playing in the background? Hold on, is that you, the mayor? No, you muted.
No, it's not me. I'm muted.
Okay. Nah, so who the hell got everybody muted? Chill, that got to be you, Chill.
It ain't me.
Yeah, that's you, Chill. You must have it play on your phone or something.
Nah, my phones are locked.
Okay. Somebody said echo sound like y'all in the NFL stadium. Yeah, I got an echo, big echo.
Maybe it's just the speaker volume. Is good now?
Let's see. Nah, it's still an echo there.
Oh shit. I got nothing else.
Because I wanted to ask you about, do you think exposing, well, not even exposing, but reporting the negative stuff that goes on in Medellin, do you think that could have probably triggered them as well?
That wasn't what triggered them, because if it wasn't for Sky Park, they wouldn't even have, I wasn't even on their radar. Sky Park made it known, hey, we were paying this guy under the table. He's outside of his visa. He told us his visa expired. You know, who knows whatever they said, the exact details. But they put the fuse in immigration's back. And then once immigration caught wind of me, they looked at the content and said, okay, now, yeah, this is a problem. The guy laying in the street that got drugged, that happened literally in front of me. I was sitting across the street at Chompy eating on Calle 10 when that happened. So that was like a personal, like I saw that real time. So I posted about it, spoke my commentary about it. It is what it is. Like, If speaking the truth gets you kicked out of a country for trying to help people stay safe and avoid certain issues, then so be it. You know what I mean? Like if I had to do that over again, I would have did that over again, because that video, chances are that video made one person think differently and move smarter when they came to Colombia, and they stayed safe, and their lives or their health are saved because I made that video. And that's how I looked at all my videos. As long as I'm educated and I help save one person doesn't come to this city and die because he's green, he ain't never been around no females, he don't know how to move, he book smart, but he not street smart. And there's a lot of people like that. I had plenty of people that I know and I see walking down the street, and I'm like, he's gonna get drugged by the end of the night, he gonna get robbed by the end of the night, because you just see how they moving. So I said,
I thought you said Medellin was safe, brother.
It is safe, but nobody just gonna come up and pop you or do craziness to you like it happens in America. We get killed at the gas station, the bowling alley, the church, school, airports. You know what I mean? Like, it go down in America. America damn near like Iraq. Chicago, 43 people killed in one holiday weekend. Like, come on, man, that's a war zone. That's a war zone. Medellin don't feel like a war zone.
But when people say that, we're foreigners. Like, we have a target on our back. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
but it's different when you black.
It's
different when you black.
That's true. That's true.
It's different when you black, because black.
It used to be. But now they know black people got money.
No. They know black people will punch them in their shit. We don't play no games.
Man, they ain't scared of us.
No, it's about the energy, bro. Like, if you're hunting, when people rob people, they look for the weakness. They look for weakness in you. When lions is out there in the jungle, they take the weakest, you know what I'm saying, animal. They don't go for the biggest. They don't go for the elephant. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, analogy. We're the elephants, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're the people that we're bigger. We're the Colombian dudes is 5'3", my nigga. I ain't scared of no nigga under 5'5". Like, I'm not running from no nigga. I'm not running, gang. Like, you little, you malnutrition.
Bite-sized killers.
That's cool. That's cool. But in 4 years, nobody tried me, and I was everywhere, from Bayo to Sabaneta. I was everywhere with my Colombian niggas. If you look like food, people are gonna try you. And the only people that really be looking like food is the Asians and the white boys. The brothers, we get killed by females. We don't get killed by men out there. Ain't no gang banging. Ain't nobody getting shot, stabbed, all of that. The women are killing us because we're stupid. And we let them trick us and drug us. And that's who we're dying from. Black men, 98% of the time, if he died in Colombia, a woman killed him. It ain't no gang. It ain't no cartel. We don't have problems with them because they want to be our homeboys. They get the white boys and the Asians. They don't mess with brothers.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. You got black men that have been shot and killed in Cartagena.
There have been.
And killed and hold on, let me finish. In Barranquilla. You know, I know brothers that's been robbed, you know, sitting on Diaz. Like, they're not afraid of us, bro. If you wear gold, they will rob your ass, black or white.
What I'm saying is, in Medellin, as a man who lived there for 4 years, spent every day walking those streets as a black man with other black men, nobody ever tried us. Now, has it happened? 100%. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but the overwhelming, I ran a news page for 4 years. When black men die, I knew every single time it happened for 4 years. When black men died, the cause of the death was usually females and drugged. They were drugged. They died because they were drugged. They had 2 girls. They brought home 2 random girls off the street. They picked up, you know, some girls off Tinder. They got drugged. They didn't die because it was some street shit and they was beefed out. Does it happen? 100%. 100%. And Cartagena, to me, is more dangerous than Medellin, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. The mayor, you there?
Yeah, I hear you. I just don't hear nobody else.
Okay. Do I still got an echo? I don't think I hear the echo no more. I think we good. Okay. People say BMT fronting. I'm not fronting. Listen, I lived in Medellin for 2 years. I would say it's dangerous. Me personally. I had no issues. I was never robbed or drugged or anything like that. But I know plenty of dudes that were drugged and robbed. I was in a situation down there in Central one time when I went to go help a dude out because he was getting extorted. I had gotten into it with some Venezuelans down there. All right. They were about to pack my ass, about 10 of them. They were about to pack my ass out. Luckily, he was a black Colombian that came around the corner that worked at the little cafe, that pretty much was like, hey, bro, he good. He, y'all tripping, he's, he this, he that. But I would say Medellin is dangerous, me personally. The mayor, would you say Medellin is dangerous?
Nah, man, I ain't gonna lie, but I am like ADHD looking around. Like if I'm at a cafe or something and I see a moto pass by, I'm on him.
So
I'm
wait
on
a
it, bro.
minute.
I ain't playing. I ain't
That's
playing.
what that means it's dangerous, bro. Do you
Nah,
worry about
but
that? Hold on. Do you worry about that in Atlanta? Do you worry about motherfucker passing by you in Atlanta?
They have
nah,
drive-bys.
Ain't
definitely
no
not.
motives in Atlanta.
There ain't no motos in Atlanta. Hell nah. Yeah.
Dudes playing ride motorcycles in Atlanta.
There's a
They
bunch of
have
Hellcats.
drive-bys.
Nah, look, bro.
Bunch of
All I'm
Hellcats.
saying is, like Capo said, man. I don't wear no jewelry. I'm not flashy. I'm regular. So it's only when you flashy, bro. They gonna come get you.
Yeah, same thing with me, man. I wore like a $5 t-shirt every day, regular. What are those on my feet? And just regular clothes, man. And you good. But it's the cats. I've had guys that I've had to tell, hey, you don't need a $60,000 watch on. You don't need $120,000 worth of jewelry on. It's not necessary. This is not the United States. This is a different place. And really, when I have my guys and I get down there, that's really what my role is. It's like when you come down here by yourself, I don't want you to be in a position where, like Capo said, you look like food. You look like food. Cats gonna try to eat off of you. So at the end of the day, leave the jewelry at home, leave the expensive shoes at home,
The Versace shirts.
leave the heavy branded stuff at home. It's not necessary. Not necessary. It just puts you in danger for no reason. And you can be cool, straight, and have a good time without all of that.
So
Yeah, I think, look,
in essence, both of you brothers are pretty much saying that it was the competition that pretty much got y'all flagged in the first place. It wasn't the actual anything that you guys did wrong. It was just the competition want to get you up out of there.
Can I say something?
Well, I wanted to respond, but go ahead, Mayor, real quick.
Nah, so I had got cut off, like my stuff was tripping. So what I was saying is I just left there. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's getting around, yo. They denying brothers and this and that, but for y'all specific situation, they were saying like because you're not supposed to make money on a tourist visa or something like that. So like they finding out y'all getting paid. So that's why the white boy with the red beard, everybody that's doing any type of business out here and they don't own a business, they cutting down on that. That's what I heard. That's what the word in the streets, man. That's it.
Nobody told me anything. And like I said earlier, all my money is collected on the American side because all of the real work to set up the trip is done on the American side. Their people get the money that comes in when the trip is going on. I'm just there to talk to the guys and show them everything that they need to see. And I employ 6 of their citizens, and I've dumped over $500,000 into that city in business for them. So if they had said that to me, I would have been like, okay, fine. But they made it something completely different. It had nothing to do with anything that I had ever done. So if they had said, hey, problem is you making too much money, you need this paperwork. Show me to the Chamber of Commerce. Let me fill it out right now. I have no problem. I need to pay a fine. I need to pay a tax fine. How much I need to pay? I have no problem with doing things in the way that they need to be done so that business can go ahead. I have a problem when you're telling me, you're denying me, but you're not giving me any information and then a story comes out that's completely contrary to anything that I've ever done or you've ever found, period. You found no evidence of the sort. You found I've never done nothing like that. That's the problem that I have, right? So, I mean, I can see how different news agencies would pitch it a different way, but for me, I was there to make sure that my guys were good, period.
Chill, you want to answer that too as well? Do you think it was because you were making money?
I mean, everything is about money at the end of the day. It's always about money. Anytime somebody tell you it wasn't about the money, it was about the money. So
That's facts.
My paperwork says that I was deported for overstaying my visa. When I left, that's what my documents said. When I got to America, that's what Homeland Security told me. They searched my phones, they searched my laptop, they gave me everything back. I said, what was that about? They was like, oh, Colombia said you was deported for sexual trafficking, pimping, a bunch of other shit. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Yeah, he was like, Colombia sent a report with you, and the white guy, he got caught at the 3 elementary schools, so he was on some pedophile stuff. But they don't talk about him. The guy caught at 3 elementary schools in Medellin doesn't get not even a story post about him. They're still talking about me 4 months later.
You think because you're black?
I mean, I got motion. It is what it is. They look at the numbers. They're not stupid. They look at their numbers. They say, oh, we got an extra 5,000 comments on it. Well, you know what I mean? We only average 200-300. When it's a black man getting kicked out of Medellin, that's like that hit of heroin to them, bro. They love that shit. They love to see a black man like Casey and the other white people that be having a issue. Even the most outrage that I've seen in the last 4 years was the guy on the balcony in Bogota with the kid. That's the worst. That's the
not being true.
And it ended up not being true. But what I'm saying is that energy, that hatred, you've seen like that. You've seen it in their eyes, dog. They wanted blood. They wanted to kill that white boy. He can't ever go back to that neighborhood. Don't matter if he didn't do it or not, because that information hasn't hit everybody. Everybody don't know he didn't do it. They still looking at him as like, oh, that's that pedophile. He raped that kid. So that's what they're trying to do. They realize, like, with the black people, we move the needle. They're seeing the numbers. They're like, ooh, every time we post a black guy, if he got a couple of followers, he got a little bit of motion, you know what I mean? He got some diamonds. He drive a nice car. We both pimps by default because we appear to be successful black men. So the only way you a successful black man is if you play ball, you rap, you sell drugs, or you a pimp. God forbid I'm a military veteran. God forbid I know how to invest my money and I know how to move smart and I have a marketing agency that I'm successul at. That can't be how he makes his money. He making money off of $40 hose in the park. Yeah, right.
All right, I got this. Yeah, $5 super chat by passport privilege. Is Capo and Don P challenging the migration authority to deny entry in the courts in Colombia? I don't think that's what y'all doing. Y'all charging most of the defamation, right?
Me personally, I want to, Capo just talked about his paperwork, right? I got nothing. So the first thing that I'm doing is
they didn't give you nothing.
I got nothing. No paperwork, nothing stamped in my visa, nothing. The first thing that I'm trying to figure out with my attorney is why was I denied entry? Because I never really got a answer on that. The second thing is the posts and the articles that are not true. Those need to come down. So that's what I'm focusing on. Whether or not I go back to Colombia or not, guys, you got to understand, I done traveled the world. I can get up right now, go to the airport with just my passport and a couple credit cards, get on the plane and go anywhere besides Medellin in the world. So for me, it's not about me necessarily going back. It's about me having the understanding of what happened, being able to fix it, and continuing to do a good business with the cats that are that I'm taking care of when they're there. So, you know, if they want me to come back, I'll consider it. If they don't want me to come back, so be it. I'm in San Diego, bro. I'm not I'm not crying every day in the mirror. Oh, can't go back to Medellin. I just want to find out why you did deny me so that I can understand. I'll pass that information on to everybody, especially people that did stories on me. And anything on those stories that are not true, I'm going to have my attorney take care of that and remove them.
Okay. All right.
Hey, but
Yeah.
DMT, I just want to say thank you to you and your audience for giving me a platform to speak. I appreciate how cool you've been. We've only known each other for, you know, like a week now, but you're a great guy as far as I could tell. And you had me on your platform and you've asked a lot of good questions, and your chat has been really good. So I want to say thank you. I got to run out of here and take care of something else, but I want to say I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Most definitely, man. Like once again, when I saw what was going down, I felt like I should reach out to you. All right, not pass judgment, because I kind of know how things go out there. Right. You know, a lot of people were making videos and stuff, and it's kind of like other brothers were making videos, calling you this, calling you that, and I'm like, do you realize, you know, how migration is? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you realize, like, I've been not in a situation, but I think I told you before we even started the stream that you got to know how things kind of, the politics. It's not America, bro. You know what I mean? Like, they can jump on something and make something else without having the pull. Like if you notice, there are no defamational articles in America about Passport Bros per se. Not like that. Like, you have some little hit pieces, but they already know they could get sued for defamation, so they're not going to print it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But in other countries, they can say, oh, you guys are sexually exploiting, you guys are doing this, you're doing that. We know it's not true. But they know that, okay, he's in America, he's not going to do this and do that. So, but anyways, man, appreciate you coming on, bro. I don't want to hold you no more longer, man. Appreciate you telling us, you know, what happened. And I think you was able to kind of explain in detail, you know, what really went down in the Medellin, man. And best of all luck to you, brother.
All right, brother. I appreciate you.
All right, man.
All right, Capo.
All right, my boy. Be safe, man.
All right.
I needed that same look, B. I needed that same look when my situation went down. Y'all was going crazy on me, boy.
Hey, man, we tried to, you know, I tried to have you on, brother.
Y'all was going crazy. I needed, I'm easy to reach. All you had to do is hit me. You know, this YouTube shit is really new for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I never really did the YouTube thing. I always just kept everything on the gram and everything like that. So, like, everybody that's locked in on the gram, hit me like it's nothing. You know what I mean?
You know what, Chin? I think what it was. I still got the echo. But I think what it was Don P was a little more humble about it. Like, you kind of went to war, like, immediately, and that's on you. That's fair. You know what I'm saying? Because people was saying your name, and there was things that come to find out was untrue down the line. But I think that, you know, by you going to war, people were kind of looking at it just like, well, wait a minute, man. You know, like, if they say you was accused of this, you know.
People wanted me to just take the L and not say nothing. You know, take the L humbly. Let them drag your name. Let them call. For anybody who understands, that's why when I reached out to Don P, like, he knew right away, like, after hearing my situation, that I'm one of the few people that understands what just happened to him. Like, a lot of people could say, oh, if it happened to me, I would have did this. I would have did. You don't know what you would have did because you ain't never been in that situation. Nobody came and grabbed you out of no nightclub and threw you in a cell at 3 a.m. and ain't tell you why you there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that. So it's like nobody is seeing the venom that I'm seeing. Nobody's seeing the people accusing me of being a pedophile and I was caught with kids and I had private parties at my house and I was sneaking people past immigration through an underground tunnel under the airport, and you know, I was pimping and I own Sky Park and I'm the manager of the club and all this. You know what I mean? There was so much misinformation about me that I was just like, hell nah, bro. I'm not just about to sit here. I took my little 2-3 days to just unwind and like really understand what just happened to me. And then that's when the flood of every time a YouTube notification, Twitter notification, Facebook notification, Instagram notification, and it's the whole country coming at me. You know what I mean? So it's like I did what I felt was necessary. I put out my my documentary about the situation. I told
you put out a documentary?
Yeah, let's talk about it. It's on my YouTube channel. It's called Let's Talk About It. I dropped it April 30th. You know what I'm saying?
What's your YouTube channel?
Chill Capo Official.
Okay, let me put the post out for you.
Yeah, Chill Capo Official. It's an hour-long documentary. Everyone that saw it was like, you did it right. Like, I wasn't angry black man. I wasn't using profanity. I just explained the situation. This is who I am. This is so y'all know what I'm about. I did this. I didn't do all of that other stuff. So let's just get that on the table. And it's cool. Like, I can move on. And I haven't really said anything since. And then come last week, Don's situation happens. Immigration's putting me on every post about him. I'm the thumbnail. It says his name and I'm the thumbnail on another page with 2 million followers in this media outlet in Bogota. 1,000 comments. Yeah, get that black mother out of here. It's like, damn, y'all dragging me back in. I'm in DR chilling.
Oh, you in DR? Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Santo Domingo. I was in Panama for a month.
Oh man, I love Santo Domingo.
Yeah, I was in Panama with my family out there. My aunts, my cousins, all in Panama. My mom is from Panama, so I got family out there. My dad's from Jamaica. You know what I mean? So it's like I got family in this part of the world, so I'm just connecting everybody. DR has been love. I love it out here. Santo Domingo's a vibe. I hate the traffic, but other than that, I like it.
Oh man, the traffic is horrible.
It's OD.
Do you plan on throwing parties in Santo Domingo?
No.
Okay.
Nah.
I mean, Santo Domingo, like, got mixer, you got like different little places you can go.
Yeah. Nah, I don't want to. It's cool, man. Because at the end of the day, like, there's going to be opportunities to do one little one-off. Maybe I'm in the mood or something makes sense. There'll be opportunities, but it's like, the juice isn't worth the squeeze to me anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that breeds that jealousy. Because I'm going to do it and I'm going to be great at it. I'm going to have the best parties. I'm going to bring my celebrity homies from Atlanta, Houston, Vegas, LA, Miami, New York. I'm having them all pull up. Wiz Khalifa, whoever, all the bros, pull up. Off the strength of me, they going to do it. And then what comes with that? Local niggas is mad. Local niggas hating. People don't fuck with you. Oh, fuck Capo, fuck. When you just the client, when you just the customer, people rock with you. When you become the competition, people start to look at you as an op, like, for no reason other than you just not making money with me. You know what I mean? That's black culture too. You know what I'm saying? It's like that in black culture. You know what I'm saying? The crabs in the bucket. You know what I mean? He ain't making no money with me, so F him. You know what I mean? That's how people. That's just the nature, the competitiveness in the blood or something. I don't know. So I'd rather just be a normal dude, make my little videos here and there, move around, travel, keep living my life, not bothering nobody, get my money, and it's cool. Like, I'm cool being a civilian. Like, if you know who I am, you know who I am, and you respect what I did. And you know what I mean? Before Colombia, it was Tokyo. Before that, it was Italy. Before that, it was Panama. Before, like, you know what I mean? I've been around. It's cool.
So are you like officially banned from Colombia for a time frame?
I have a 5-year ban. I've been dropping. So since they started posting me, I took the gloves off and I started putting more receipts out that I've been holding on to because I didn't feel like it was necessary to unload the whole clip. It's already, the war is over. I put my gun away. I'm chilling. Then Don P's situation happens. I got to get the gun back up. I got to, you know what I mean? I got to clean it. I got to go back to war because you playing with my name on this internet, calling me things that I'm not, accusing me of stuff I didn't do just because I'm black and I'm popular. That's why you hating? There's people in the comments right now in your chat right now tagging migration, like, look at this, look at this. There's a whole bunch of
those are trolls, bro.
Yeah, but there's millions of people like this that makes it their life. You know what I'm saying? Like, they make it their life. That's their life. To sit there and hate somebody just because they doing better than them. Nobody feels sorry for a winner. When you winning, when you doing good, nobody feels sorry when you fall off or you have a bad situation. LeBron get kicked out of the first round. Oh well, F him. That's LeBron. People it don't matter. Jordan didn't win the title. People was clapping, cheering. Yeah, F Jordan. He the greatest. People gonna hate you no matter what level you is. So it's like, I'm cool. I'd rather just be the Instagram dude chilling in Santo Domingo. I don't want to host parties. I don't want to be the man. I don't want to be the spotlight. I don't want none of that. I just want to get money, kick it with my shorty, and that's it. I'm chilling on the beach. I'm in Boca Chica. I'm in Boca Chica eating fried fish and plantains and getting the back rub. I'm cool.
Yeah, man. Well, bro, I appreciate you coming on. I'm gonna go ahead and end the show.
Yes, sir.
Like I said,
appreciate you.
Yeah, man, and I hope everything works out there. I love Santo Domingo, man. Hope everything works out there for you.
Nah, let's connect. I'm gonna put my number in the chat. Text me.
Okay, I got you.
All right, bro.
All right, peace. All right, guys, well, that's been another show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. All right, we had a lot of good information. I know you guys, the opinions are pretty much split, but it is what it is, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream for the night. All right, peace. I've learned something. The difference between an average trip and an unforgettable one usually comes down to one thing: information. Not money, not luck, but information. You see, I've landed in cities around dead spots.
Say what?
Travel blogs and YouTube videos were out of date, and every AI bot kept giving me the same generic internet answers. But then I run into a local or another passport bro, and suddenly the entire trip changed. I'm talking about the hidden rooftop bar packed with locals, the beach tourists haven't discovered yet, the restaurant with no marketing but a line out the door, the neighborhood everybody told you to avoid until someone who actually lives there showed you otherwise. The after-hour spots that never show up on Google, and the experiences that turn a good trip into a story you will be telling for years. This kind of information you usually only get from being connected. That's when it hit me. The best travel information isn't on the internet. It's inside the heads of people actually out there living it every day. That's what Passport Bros AI is built on. Knowledge contributed by over 30,000 travelers around the world. From Brazil to Thailand, from Colombia to Kazakhstan.
Welcome to Thailand.
ChatGPT said this was the hottest spot in town. Jeffrey, where the real hot spot at?
37 Passport Bros recommend Saruta nightclub. Best nights are Friday and Saturday.
Even I've uploaded my own experiences into his AI brain. Because when you land in a foreign country, you don't need another AI searching old web pages. You need information from people who were there just last week, last night, maybe even right now. Passport Bros AI, powered by 30,000 real travelers. Don't land clueless. Download Passport Bros AI today.
Community into a global epidemic.
Yeah, they call themselves the Passport Bros.
I told y'all these Passport Bros are lame.
Want to fly overseas to find a quote-unquote submissive wife? How dare you?
Oh, wow, that sounds kind of cool. Really?
No, it's not.
Keisha, why are we here today?
Because I got in Leroy's phone.
Just have to flee to other countries where their dollar goes further.
You are not about to become no Passport Bro.
Hey, if they want to go, let them go.
Are you one of those Passport Bros? Or did you get her from the soil?
I got her from the soil of Colombia.
Passport bros are losers.
I'm a passport bro.
Not
The
in
passport
Goldberg,
bros
this
have gone from a
Chandelier
niche
passport
community
bros.
into a
5-minute
global
quarantine
Hey,
jam.
stop me.
How do
Just
you
a bunch of losers with a hashtag.
They're communicating that they.
Long night?
I shouldn't have let him go on that guy's trip to Colombia.
People, we need something big, controversial, viral, and we needed it yesterday. What's hot? What's new?
Have you heard about the Passport Bros?
We already pushed that name through the mud.
Everybody's already talking about it. But nobody owns the story.
We're just adding to the firestorm.
Exactly.
At Nexus, we don't add to the fires. We start them.
That's why we make a documentary about them.
A documentary? You want ruin more women's lives, Pierre?
I want something new.
Do you realize I had a 7-year plan? Marriage, divorce, alimony, just down the drain.
Do tell.
He never said he was a passport bro, but I know he watches that kind of guy crap online.
We find a normal guy. Send him overseas for a few months. He's gonna run into scams, horrible dates with the local women. Maybe he even gets drugged and robbed.
I like it. Find me somebody ordinary, somebody people will believe.
I've already got the right guy. Ah, got it. Uh-oh.
Hey, what happened to the lights? Come on, man.
1 second, guys.